Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the Casual Sim Racers League as we are here at Road Atlanta. This is definitely a site of a lot of GT racing. You got the Petit Le Mans coming here every year, both in real life and virtually on iRacing here. But tonight, boys are going to have at it here for their next round of racing here, and should be a good one. This is a track where, again, with the Petit Le Mans, you are running a multi-class race there, so it's a track built for that, but doesn't mean it's that easy to get around here. As certainly a little tricky through the S's. Coming out of the S's, I don't know, at least for me, turn 5 at the bottom of the S's there is kind of a hold your breath, check your pants kind of moment. Just about every time I'm coming through there, but certainly the LMP2 is a little bit easier to get down there, a little bit more downforce, but you catch that curve the wrong way, it's the same thing. It's just like GT3s can throw you around a little bit. So we'll see what the field can do here tonight. Carl Hammer joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, we've been here quite a lot at Road Atlanta. It's a fun place to be.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite tracks, actually. I look forward to each and every year when the special event comes up for the multi-class racing. I've done very well here. Haven't got a win, but definitely some top fives. But this one here is going to be filled with action-packed here. Obviously, multi-class racing. 48 cars out here tonight for the drivers to take on the field, take on the track, and we got a pretty good lineup. Hopefully I got everybody. I think Steven Plus was kind of new, so hopefully I put him in the right spot. I put him in the rookie with the rookies LMP2s. So if not, we'll correct that when I get a chance. But right now the qualifying order is done, so we'll go ahead and pull that up for everybody out here and get that up here on the screen. Let me empty out the stuff what roll is here, and we'll get the qualifying set here for your LMP2 Pro drivers. We're going to go ahead and show that here. You have Dace Keeling, Devin Young, Craig Jancic, Bryce Reiner, Herbert Pineda, Svani Madrigal, Trent Blaylock, Jim Dutton, Glenn Lazon, Anthony Hutchinson, and then let's see if anybody else. Yep, got Jack Oldenburg out there in 11th place. 12th is Marco Chacon, and that's your LMP2 Pros. LMP2 AMs, you're going to have René Dilemma, Jim Herrick, Jason Potts, Paul Smith, William Burrell, Brandon Potts, Paul Bailey, John Espada, Michael Rolowski, and that is the lineup for your LMP2 AMs. Your GT3 Pros starting order, or at least for the Pros, in first going to be Noah Bourgeois back out there with Ricky Renner, Christopher Hamilton, Michael Schwartz, Jason Phillips, Kyle Kober, Michael Antania, and then back with the GT3 AMs, you have Javi Sierra, Christian Torres, Stephen McLean, Cesar Colon, Logan Branson, Cameron Burke, Todd Torvell, Ian Southern, Ian Wilson, Jay Little, and I believe that's all of them, so we got 10 for there. And then your LMP2 rookies starting a little bit farther back, but you have Bevan Young and Steve Plus back there. And again, I apologize that Stephen was new to the list, so not quite sure where he was going, but he looked new to me, so let's go over the rookies right now. And then for your GT3 rookies, Ryan Merriam, James Smith, Nathan Nickerson, John Newman, Ryan Luna, Riol Kalong, Stephen Latrelli, and William Martin Harvin. So definitely a lot of drivers out there on the track here for tonight, but we'll go ahead and we'll get the race set up here, get everything going as the drivers are making their way around the track here for a 45-minute race. As definitely, drivers will be looking to pit at least once here tonight, but you pretty much make it no matter what. I think even no matter the car here tonight, at least the LMP2, maybe they might need a couple laps in early before if they decide to pit. And usually, sometimes earlier things can happen, but we'll go ahead and bring everything up. And you can see everybody where they stand within the groupings they are. So, but Dace Keeling been doing a fantastic job this season, dominating a lot of tracks, and finishing up towards the front pretty much every race, unless he has a mistake. But definitely great challengers back there with Devin Young and Craig Jancic, Bryce Reiner back there and fourth as well. So the LMP2 is ready to rock and roll as everybody's starting to sort out here a little bit. This is the track map for y'all, and we'll get that going here. Got Carl's layout, so it's a little different than mine.
Yeah, and while you're mentioning, you mentioned base keeling. It seems like that the last quite a few seasons now for CSRL, we've kind of had a dominant driver at the top of the boards. Obviously, this the first season with multi-class as the LMP2's going to be getting the green flag here. We'll get into to talking about the the kind of domination that we've seen so far this year as LMP2's heading down into turn number 1 for the first time. Got to watch out those cold tires and make sure you have that car underneath you, because you can easily slip right off the track there. And then the first time down through the S's can get a little bit treacherous with those cold tires as well as they head down in there right now. And you already see some incidents going through the S's as GT3s now get their green flag here as well, heading down into 1.
Yeah, so a little bit of a couple incidents with the LMP2s, and we'll review those here shortly. But the GT3s are off, rocket and rolling down to turn 1s, up through those that blind corner. That turn on the top of the hill is blind. You have to know where it's at, and that's a sharp right, left, then down through the S's up to the treacherous turn number 5 that Carl was talking about, is where we've seen plenty cars losing it here and ending their night. But it looks like the GT3s were able to kind of make it through those. Right now they're still making it through those S's. Oh, got one off as he goes for a ride, and I think that's John Espada going off the track there, as you see back in the background, but getting it turned around, and he'll get going again. So losing a little bit of time, and we'll have his work cut out here for him tonight. But we'll head back up front, see what's up with Dace Keeling, as he's being followed by Craig Jancic as they head through turn number 1 and up and over the hill here. But Dace getting out to a nice lead here pretty early, and that clean air with nobody around allows you to do that. And it won't be long before Dace is within the midst of the GT3s. But just going back here through the field, seeing how the drivers are making it down through the S's here, doing a fantastic job. Just a few, grumbles there in the beginning, and like I said, we'll get a chance to get back there and look at those here shortly. But we're just trying to check out the action, as it's really close right now between all the cars around this track. Like Carl was saying, everybody comes here a lot, and a lot of confidence up for some of these drivers making their way around this track here tonight. And there's a lot of opportunities, but you have to have some cojones out there to make some of the moves, and you put yourself in an awkward position, and even maybe the other driver. So CSRL is really good about sportsmanship and giving each other room. So we'll see how much room they give each other here tonight, trying to get those points here for the season. So I believe we're about halfway, Carl, right?
Yeah, a little over halfway, actually, coming towards the back half of the season right now. And, we talk about some of the treacherous spots here. Obviously, the blind corner at the top of the S's themselves, turn 5, it's really that whole complex right there. The the first sector of the track is really tricky. After that, it's nothing too crazy. You got the double right-hander, you got the long backstretch that sends you down into the chicane, which chicane, it really isn't, it's your typical normal chicane, nothing too crazy about it if you know how to take a chicane. And then, up and over underneath the bridge, the underpass there, and down, you're flat out, no matter if you're in the LMP2 or the GT3, all the way through the final sector after the chicane, across the start-finish line. But pit road is not exactly an easy one here. It is right as you crest over the hill, you need to kind of keep an eye on your mirrors as well, because if you're slowing down to stay to the right hand side to go in the pit lane, you can get tagged pretty easily if the driver behind isn't paying attention. But even when you get in the pit lane, that thing feels like it's a bike path. It feels like it's so skinny going through the grass, right through the middle of the grass for a little bit before you actually get in the pit lane. I know I've made my mistakes in the Petit Le Mans heading into the pits before. It's not exactly just cut and dry coming into the pits. So not just the track that can bite here tonight, the pit entry can as well.
Yeah, riding on board here with Jim Herrick as he just goes through turn number 1, and you can see they were a little bit higher than the drivers could see, and how blind pretty much that corner is, and doing some pretty decent speed, and then making sure you hit the apexes on the corners down through the S's. Here's the oh hello moment, as it's kind of an off camber type of corner, but you run the car out over the curbs, and that's basically when the car starts heading straight, you're on the gas, down a nice little chute, double apex here, double right hand turn. You're going to get in here. The second one's a little bit tighter, so you want to make sure that car is turned before you get on the gas. Then off to a nice long straightaway. Hopefully you can get a chance to get a run or get a draft of the partner and the driver in front of you. can really kind of help pull you along and kind of help keep you up pace with somebody that might be a little bit quicker. And then if you're a little better at cornering, this is one of the areas that drivers will love to dive down to the inside, take it too wide, make the other driver feel uncomfortable, and run these corners too wide up over the corner underneath the bridge here. And it's great. Here is where pit road is, off to the right-hand side. So, you know, if it's your turn to pit, make sure you're calling out, especially you got somebody close behind you. But everything's so good there. A good lap there by Jim Herrick, currently sitting in P, number 11 overall. Then up Dace Keeling, already catching up into some lap traffic as he goes to turn number 5. You can see coming up in the rear end of a green BMW here. And they're going to need to, you know, be careful here. And this was what could give Craig Jancic the opportunity to start to catch him. So it's nothing like getting into a corner and not being able to run your line and then put yourself in a position where you got to lose time so you can finish the race here. And that's what kind of happened to Dace in a few races. You know, just a wrong spot, wrong time, going for a ride, allowing the drivers behind him to kind of get by. So, but Dace has been pretty dominant here throughout the season. And again, looking here to maybe rack up another win as here at Road Atlanta. But right now on board with Craig Jancic, always a tough competitor, going to the inside there and down through the final corners here, trying to get that run on Dace and hopefully catch traffic a little better than he can. So the battle is not too far, but it is a 2-second gap there. We're going to go back to some closer racing back here with Jim Dutton as he's back on the tail of Glenn Lazon. You can see smoke going off there on the left-hand side, so heads up call there for Jim. As you can see the slow LMP2 trying to get back in there. It's going to be close, and he gets hard on the brakes. As that blind corner is very hard to get hard to brakes for the LMP2 as they don't have any assistance. Slows him up. He's side by side. We'll change cameras here because he's got company there from Anthony Hutchinson, who's breathing down Jim's backside as he had to get checked up hard there for that slow LMP2.
Yeah, you mentioned Dace Keeling dominant certainly last week, and he's kind of been dominant this season. And like I was mentioning pre-race, it seems like the last few seasons we've had kind of one driver really, be the standout performer for quite a few seasons. It was Craig Jancic. Everybody was gunning to try and take down Jancic, try and take down that 88 from the front of the pack. And the tides have kind of turned now in the last couple of seasons. Obviously, last season was Noah Bourgeois really kind of taking over the scene. He stayed in the GT3 class this season. It's maybe where he feels comfortable, where he likes to drive. Maybe he doesn't like the LMP2, but some of the better drivers here moved up to the LMP2 class since the split. And newcomer Dace Keeling has kind of taken right over where Noah Bourgeois left off, leading the front of the pack here, and has been pretty dominant. And it's really taken some some incidents or some places where Keeling gets caught up in some kind of mess for the other drivers to have a chance. I mean, it's been a pretty good start to the season. Start to his CSRL career for sure for Dace Keeling, but the other drivers are not that far off. They just missing a few tenths here and there. It's not like he's walking away and lapping the field, but it's and again maybe he would if it not be multi-class and be a little tight quarters sometimes. But either way, good to see Dace Keeling out there, and good to see Noah Bourgeois back out there. I know he's missed a couple of races, but clearly happy to be back out there with the boys here at CSRL, and happy to be leading that GT3 class as well.
Actually, it's the rookie of Ryan Merriam that is leading the GT3s overall at the moment, Carl. As Noah is back by about 2 seconds, so Ryan putting the pedal down, showing that maybe there's a new boy in town. And Noah shouldn't have took the weeks off because he's got somebody to chase here tonight. Maybe fuel the fire here for the Red Bull Ferrari out there for Noah Bourgeois, but doing a good job here. Had something happen with Devin Young, but actually I think Devin Young just coming into pits here early, so Devin Young taking that early pit stop there in that LMP2, parking up front there, get some service there. It looks like just a fuel, no tires going up on that machine as he's ready to go. But let's talk a little bit about the GT3s here. We did talk about Ryan and Noah. Ricky Renner sitting there in P number 3. Chris Smith back there in, Christopher Hamilton back in, Chris, back there in P number 4, trying to chase down Ricky. And We've seen some good things from Chris so far this season here, and been running pretty consistently with that Mercedes as he's got company as he comes up over the hill, or the LMP2 coming out of the pits. It always makes things a little bit interesting. And we'll go ahead and you can see there on the inside, making it very uncomfortable for Chris, allowing for Javi Sierra to get back up on that bumper there of Chris, and it took a lot of momentum away down through the S's. And it's one thing. You try to let the LMP2 by, and this is what can happen. You can lose that gap or that comfortable little bit of lead you had over your competitors, and it tightens things up when you least expect it. And now Chris has a bumper full of a Corvette. We're looking to breathe down that Mercedes back end. So good run there, and good, by Javi Sierra to try to catch up to Chris and maybe catch him off guard and even keep him uncomfortable to maybe get a run. But got a little bit action on the track. It does look like see Ian Southern went off track just a little bit, and so did William Harvin, but it looks like just kind of off and on track, so maybe just cutting the corners there a little bit close. It does look like something more serious with Ian Southern as he had to jump. Oh, wow! Yeah, was not expecting that.
That's a little bit serious, Jimmy.
Yeah, he might need to pick him up in the in-care health center there as he went flying. And I'll go ahead and pause that and rewind that, because I just caught the very, very tail end of that to see kind of what happened to Ian Southern there. As looks like maybe he blinked out, and that's probably exactly what happened. But here coming around the corners, and when a slower car blinks out, he might not have that opportunity to the person behind him to see where he's at and could get caught up there. And you can see it right there. He's gone, and he's actually still going as these cars don't know where he's at. So some internet issues there for Ian. Causes a big one here again, just kind of going forward to see what happened. But when I did finally get him back on the track, he already went for a ride, and you can see the damage done there after the incident, and he did come back. So obviously a lot of cars on track can be very strenuous on PCs, and it can make computers perform ways that maybe you don't want it to, you get spikes. Can even happen to the broadcasting. Something could happen. Just so much going on. The computer is drawing so much. iRacing is still in the middle of producing their own graphics engine, and I think some people, they should maybe take some tips from a game that have been playing recently, made by Pearl Abyss. They made their own graphics engine, and for something that runs as good as it does, in the distances they have, I think they. A company like TAT has their ball game hat on, as they've gotten a lot of
they got their ducks in a row.
Yeah.
They got their ducks.
As far as the graphics go.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and it's not just just graphics in general. We're looking at it. I know we're looking at it live, but for iRacing, it's kind of considered we're looking at it in replay mode. When you're in the car, there's only so much that you're seeing from the cockpit, so there's only so much that your computer needs to draw, and when you're in the car, it's not as taxing as it is when you're out here, in quote unquote replay mode, where you're seeing a lot further in the distance. You're seeing cars on TV cameras. You're seeing them kind of in a long distance all over the place, and sometimes you're seeing 15, 20 cars all over the track where you're not normally going to see that maybe in car.
Yeah, it's, get that 360 world. You can see I'm changing cameras around for all kind of get different views. Off the tail end here of Trent Blaylock as he's working his way through traffic, and you can see Jim Herrick back there in that teal and black machine trying to chase him down. Seeing Jim take a good dive on a GT3 there into the last corners at the bottom of the hill. So that 40 there is really trying to put some little bit of pressure on Trent Blaylock. But Brandon Potts is leading the LMP2 rookies at the moment here, and he's got the company of the 3 of Trent Blaylock right there as well. So trying to stay a little bit ahead of the pros, but you see with the Trent Blaylock even getting a little bit of blinking internet issues. Ooh, a little check up there as somebody went off the track. That was Anthony Hutchinson. As a quick close call there by Brandon Potts and gang. So we'll go take a quick look there at Anthony Hutchinson, see what happened. Just on the outside, just getting a little bit loose there with number 31, and just out in the grass. So not too much damage, but we lost some spots, lost some valuable time on the track, pushing him back just a few more spots that he would love to get back. But good job hanging on to that machine for that incident. So back live here again, as you can see. LMP2 leader and pro is definitely Dave Keeling. For your LMP2 rookies, McCombs. LMP2 AM for is Potts, and then you got Merriam for your GT3 rookie, actually leading overall for the GT3s. No, he's not. Noah Bourgeois has taken over. And then the GT3 AM, we got Javi Sierra. So definitely a lot of racing going on. I'm trying to catch the action as much as I can. There is 48 drivers on the field, and I'm trying to cue in on the drivers that are running around each other. We'll go back here with Ryan Luna back here in 39th. So even great racing happening back here. As you see, he's got a wing full of another Lamborghini out there. And looking at the field here tonight, a lot of Porsches, so a lot of Porsches tonight, but there's still a good variety of GT3s out there. As the drivers have plenty to choose from, that's for sure. That's like one big debate that me and Carl have when it comes to, running a special event. What car are we running? Well, if we can happen to choose a car, sometimes it's just easier to say LMP2. Because it's the same car for everybody. You don't have to argue, and you just drive that car and get it done. So the only thing you got to worry about is the setup. And when you get different people in the car, setups can matter. What might feel good for somebody might be bad for somebody else. But there you can see a good pass heading down into the S's. So Michael Schwartz giving plenty of room for that LMP2 to get by as he heads up into turn number 5 down in the double right-hand turn. But Glenn Dazan has decided to take a venture off the track. See what happened here with Glenn trying to blink here, going up and over the corner, and a little hard on the brakes, gets that rear end around. Just does this quick spin, just losing some time. So good catch there for Glenn, able to keep it out of the wall and get going, get a small slowdown as he's waiting for traffic. Another small stutter step there, but out on the track back safely. So good driving there for Glenn on this one here. Carl, we're down to about 17 minutes into this race now. It should be soon that if drivers are thinking maybe to break this thing in half, thinking about maybe taking a pit stop. And I know some drivers will even take that pit stop just to maybe give themselves a little bit of space around maybe somebody they're fighting.
Jimmy, I'm looking at the track map, and I don't know where you're seeing space. I see dots all over the place. I see all the different color Skittles out there. I mean, I know that's the idea. You come in there and try and get out there, get some clean air. I don't think there's clean air out there. I'm not saying there's smog in the area. I'm saying there's cars all over the place. So good luck finding any kind of clean area right now to try and get any kind of work in. But yeah, I mean, you do what you can. If you're not comfortable running in the group that you're in, if you're not, having some good success to try and get around the cars, if you're the LMP2 trying to get around some GT3, maybe you just come in and just, take your pit stop, take a little bit of a breather, get back out there, and go back to work. But yeah, we should be seeing most of the drivers come in, and it should be, like you mentioned, a one pit stop race here tonight, so these drivers can get it home in their 45-minute race. But we talked about the Le Mans. That's not, I believe that's not until the fall time. But the actual Le Mans. The actual Le Mans is coming up here pretty soon, and iRacing doesn't have the rights to the race anymore because of I believe because of the game Le Mans Unlimited or Le Mans Limited, whatever it is. So they lost the rights to officially hold that race. So there is a setup shop that does run the Le Mans race, and we'll be partaking in that here. In just a few weeks. So hopefully these drivers will get a chance to get out there, as well as it's a paid one, and it can get a little bit a little bit crazy out there. But Jimmy, we are about halfway through the race here tonight. So why don't we go ahead and turn over and give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Yeah, turn us now and let the sounds and the sights and sounds here rip roar through your speakers. Real good. Would love to hear it. all the action going on the track. As you can see, some of the incidents. Seen Noah Bourgeois go off the track and just get his car destroyed as he took too much curve going down to the S's, heading up to turn number 5. So it's going to ruin his race there for the GT3 and give the lead probably. It's going to give the lead back to. Everybody's pitting now, so I'm trying to keep track where everybody's at. So go ahead and go with a different look here for everybody on the tower. Keep it up a little bit different for everybody. We got them right here. Anyway, in second right now is Dace Keeling, as he did make his pit stop and taking back over the lead here over Harold Pineda, who has finally come down into the pits along with Trent Blaylock. It is going to put Craig Jancic back in P number 2, back about 8 seconds from Dace here tonight, and then Bryce Reiner in P number 3 as well. And you can see a lot of those drivers pitting at different times. Dace was in at lap 21, Craig Jancic was in lap 18, Reiner was in at 19, and Savani was in there on lap number 21. So even back there, Nevin Young was in on lap number 7, has made his way back up into P number 6 overall, but William Burrell still out there charging, leading the way for the LMP2 AM drivers, and trying to get a good finish here right now. Doing a fantastic job. Hasn't pit yet though, so he's going to lose some time there and fall back just a little bit, but overall doing a pretty good job there in number 21. Digital Sports Machine, and supporting the troops out there with some red, white, and blue. But overall, the race has been going pretty good. I've seen some pretty close calls. I'm sure the drivers will talk about turn number 5 quite a bit. I was, getting that pressure down through the S's and trying to be as patient as possible with the GT3 drivers. The GT3 cars are just fast enough to not hinder you too much, but definitely the LMP2s can get through turn number 5 a little bit faster, so they end up slowing down. And if if you're doing an endurance race, you'll end up taking your time a little bit more because so much can happen. So you don't kind of push your car too much. But here, kind of a sprint race for the most part here. Only 45 minutes. You see the LMP2s getting around. Ian Southern there is Ian going wide. But Ryan Merriam, who was leading here earlier, has an incident here just now. And this is through the double right-hander at the top of the hill, and just a little too much rotation there for that Ferrari. It's going to send him around, and plenty of time to get over there, but gets it back in the grass, just losing some time. So not a wrecked machine, but just wrecking some time out there. But Ian Wilson, after talking about just for a second, has crashed. So I'm sorry, Ian, if I caused you some broadcaster curse, but doing out there, he was doing a pretty decent job, but had his hands full with some LMP2s, and you see the number 82 getting involved there as well. And I believe, that was right in a dilemma. So tough break there for Ian, is now facing the wrong way. But back to the race here at Hanging. Dace Keeling is your overall leader over Craig Jancic and Bryce Reiner for your LMP2s. And then back for your GT3s, you do have Nathan Nickerson leading the leaders. But for your GT3s in the lead right now is going to be Ricky Renner with the lead, with Javi Sierra right behind him in P number 2, and then Noah Bourgeois back there in 3rd. So pretty good comeback there for Noah, just trying to make up, and just took a little too much curve there earlier. Tried to run some grass like Max Verstappen, but wasn't able to make it happen with the Ferrari Red Bull machine. But good race here so far. We'll go back here. We're some tight racing back here with Christopher Hamilton. Finds himself back here in 34th overall and 7th in his class at the moment. But so maybe some incidents or some tie-ups here in the race, and got his hands full there with I believe that's with roll column. So as they go side by side down the backstretch here, down the hill, and you can see them go. We'll see them go too wide here through these S's, and I holding up a bunch of LMP2s, trying to get by, and they're gonna try to make a move at probably William Burrell, and up still in there. He just lets the other ones go by. Hold his position there, so you can see the LMP2s trying to get by. They're going 3 wide into turn 1's going to push that number 9 wide, but that opens the door for Jim Dutton to get by as well. Somebody coming out of the pits. Oh, what a mess. It was Ian Southern coming out of there. What a way to come out of the pits after having an incident, just being spun around. Find yourself coming out and just a hornet's nest. But like Carl was saying, so many drivers here at CSRL here, 48 drivers on the track, multi-class racing here on a Wednesday night, and just one of, like I said, great track for this multi-class racing, and a lot of drivers are used to this type of racing here at this track for sure. So not a new one for sure. It's not a street course, which is always good. I think one of the reasons I like this track so much is because of the altitude changes. And you know, you do get that chance to you know, hit those apexes, double, you know, the off cambers, and just get a different feel for your car and how you can drive it. And it's one of those tracks that just kind of came to me when I was able to drive. But doing really well here so far tonight. We only have about 12 minutes left, so you're looking right around about 10 laps or so for the LMP2s as they're making their way around here in about 11, which is, that's pretty obviously pretty quick here. I think I usually go around here and then the 12s and 13s, so it's definitely interesting there, and Dace just clinic again tonight. Just as long as he can stay out of trouble, he should have this one kind of wrapped up. It's at 7-second interval. It's come down from 8, but has plenty of time to kind of work his way through traffic, take his time, and still keep the likes of Craig Jancic behind him in that number 97. The 87 of Bryce Reiner is still sitting in P number 3. And it does look like all the LMP2 pros are pretty much in the lead there, but you do have Bevan McCombs back there, one of your LMP2 rookies. Hasn't been fitted in yet, so kind of sitting there kind of in front of the LMP2 AMs. But not in front of many of the LMP2 pros, so never know where Bevan might fall. Could be just in with the AMs, or maybe even catch the tail end of the pros, but still overall in P number 12, doing a good job, working his way through traffic, and holding well here tonight. Down a couple spots where he came from, but looking at the biggest mover of the race is right now Nathan Nickerson for simraces.com up in he's the 3rd in the rookies, but 25th overall, and he's not too far behind some of the GT3 pros, but doing a pretty good job here tonight in this race here at Atlanta.
I believe up 12 spots from his starting spot back there in 37th. So good job as Raul Cole, and also up 12 spots back there in 33rd. So both of them fighting for the Chris Burrell Hard Charger Sandbagger Award win here tonight. I want to thank our other sponsors while we get a chance: Sim Gimme Expo, Jandalore Leather, Ace Motorsports, 4D Racewear, and DSS for everything that they do here for the series. Also Martin PC as well. Definitely it's any little bit helps, and I know 4D Racewear has been giving out a bunch of gloves for their every time they hit 40 drivers out here. They're giving away I'm not sure if it's gloves or the shoes that they're giving out. I forget exactly what they're doing. They might be the shoes. So exactly, this goes to your feet. So a great job, and it has been a good one here tonight. It is coming down to the end here, down to the last 9 minutes of this race. Dave Scaling has dominated here from the front, but only out to about 8.7 seconds after it's all said and done here. So that means, you know, one mistake here all the way to the end, and Craig Jancic will likely jump on top of that, but he's got his mirror full with Bryce Reiner as well as the teammates. Maybe going to be doing some battling before the end of this race. But down in the GT3 class right now, excuse me, it is Ricky Renner leading the way. If I believe so. Yep, yeah. Ricky Renner leading in the GT3 Pro class by 13 seconds over Javi Sierra, who is actually leading the GT3 AM class, but second in line here in the GT3. So good run here for Javi Sierra.
Yeah, Javi doing a fantastic job, and driving no, not, I was going to say the lone Corvette, but there is William Harden's out there. Excuse me, Steven Lachelle is out there in the Corvette as well. So I got my cymbals small so I can get all the drivers up on the screen at the same time. When you start getting 48 drivers and you start making your screen, making the font a little smaller, everything starts clashing together. But got them all up here so I can see what's going on and try to catch what's going on. But so you roll after talking about him, Carl, you went ahead and you made him do this. Off track
Sorry.
right there for the nine. And grabbing extremely bad. I don't know if he can get across. Nope, he's not even going to be able to get across the track. He's going to end up towing this thing. Is he going to try? Don't try. Don't try. Don't try. Maybe. Maybe. Nope. Oh, I know that feeling and it stinks. Slow and easy, and he might make it down to his pits, but he's back live. But oh, big one here by one of your front runners in the LMP2, Craig Jancic, going for a ride here, just off the track just a little bit, catching it. What a catch, saved in a spin, sideways, locking it up. Does he escape?
Not to make light of it, but kind of funny how, like looking from, at least from the view that I was, it's almost like you could see him look to the left. Like you see that the helmet turn to the left to look and see if anybody was coming down the hill before he pulled back out there to make a little bit light of the situation. But unfortunately, that little spin right there is going to cost him second place as Reiner was able to capitalize and jump in front of him. But they are still about 12 seconds adrift of Dace Keeling out front. So good job. Noah Bourgeois has moved himself now around Javi Sierra back into second place as well. So a little bounce back here for the 24.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. I'm surprised he was able to get that done. He went off to cut that car destroyed, and obviously, didn't take his pit stop yet, and was able to use that fast repair, get him back in there, and not lose too much time. So if he'll catch Ricky Renner, I don't know about that one. Here, as we only have about 5.5 minutes here remaining, he's 10 seconds back. That's a lot of time to try to catch Ricky and get around him, but as he almost lost it again. Oh, and he does. And there's Noah Bourgeois in the middle of the stretch, as we've seen him, go off the track there. And tough break there for Noah Bourgeois yet again. And we'll catch it here as we were trying to see what happened, but he just kind of off the wall, right in front of drivers, across the track, backs it into the wall, and says, I'm done, hangs it up here tonight. So trying to push that Ferrari here tonight, not what Noah Bourgeois wanted. Was doing a fantastic job trying to catch back up, but unable to make it happen here. We'll go back up to your current leader, though, of your GT3s, and that's Ricky Renner, leading the way. He has a 11-second lead over Javi Sierra, and then Jason Phillips in he's in second for your GT3 Pros, but third for your GT3s.
I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Get you in touch with everything at CRNS after, as that was a little opportunistic there for Brandon Potts trying to make it around the GT3 heading into the top of the S's there. This is race number 1 of 2 tonight, as Pit Road Speed Limit Racing is going to be technically starting the season here tonight, as myself and Jimmy will be back in the booth for them, as they're going to have their clash tonight coming up right after CSRL, and then they'll take a week off, and then the actual season at Daytona will start the final Thursday of the month. But clash tonight, so we got double feature here tonight on CRN. But that was a little close there for the 44 Brandon Potts, who's having a good race up there in second place in the LMP2 AM class right now, quite a ways back from Renan Dilemma, who is having a good race himself. I cringe saying it because I feel like Dilemma is one that always gets caught up by the broadcaster's curse, but the 82 leading the M class right here tonight as we're coming down to the last couple laps here. We're down to the final, excuse me, 2 minutes, actually 3 minutes left in this race.
Yeah, it's about 2.5 to 3 laps depending on where Dace is at. Looks like he is coming down the backstretch here, down into the final turns. So by the time he crosses, yeah, we're probably looking at 3 more laps here. About where he's at now, he'll get across before the 3-minute mark. So yeah, about 3 laps left, maybe 2, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be 3 for the speed that Dace is heading. So hopefully the drivers have enough fuel to make it that far. Craig Jancic back up there in P number 3 after that loss in time, basically, and able to, all the drivers doing a fantastic job. He was in a very awkward spot, at least just sideways and not facing the other way. Like Carlson, his driver was kind of looking over to the left, like, is there anybody over there? Like, please don't hit me. But Bryce kind of holding things together. I do see Christopher Hamilton back there behind Bryce. As you can see, Chris even taking turn 5 a little bit wide. But down a couple spots here tonight, back here in the 30th overall. So it's definitely not where we're used to seeing Chris run. So obviously getting tangled up in probably some traffic, maybe bad pit stop. That's happened in the past. But overall, still out there running and pretty decently. But we had a couple close battles here on the track right now with the likes of Jason Phillips and Michael Schwartz, and then right behind him is Paul Smith, Paul Smith is in the LMP2, so he's trying to get by in the GT3s and be like, at least if I finish bad, I want to at least finish in front of all the GT3s. That was always my goal as an LMP2 driver in an endurance race, is do not be beat by a slower car by the end of the night. So if that means just going out there and running a beat car, well, then I'm going to run a beat car. But he's in some pretty thick traffic here with some other LMP2s trying to get around a couple of the GT3s. But back here with Ryan Luna, also another one here in a battle here, with the likes of John Espada right there in front of him, as they're going too wide, and then being swarmed by the LMP2. But you can see them taking the opportunity, trying to go into the inside. He makes that work, but now has to go to the outside and get pushed wide. The LMP2 is looking to really cut down to the inside. That's going to ruin his run there. So yeah, whatever run he had on John Espada is now gone, and just like that, and that's what's kind of frustrating as a slower driver. You only have a small opportunity to make that move and make that pass, and that's why a lot of mistakes can happen, because they really send it in there. We've seen a little bit of an incident happen there. Got Devin Young off the track along with William and Jim Dutton as well. So go back there and kind of see what happened with Devin, because it seems like it kind of ran there. Oh, just losing it there. Gotten off the track there.
Blaming on the victim.
Yep. And did he cause? I can't quite see here back.
Nice smooth little turnaround. You can't see behind the trees there, but a nice smooth little turnaround there for the 15. Got it back going there, kept it in 5th place overall. But trying to take a look at Dace Keeling and seeing if he's going to get the white flag here. If he's already got it, you see another incident right there. Jim Dutton ends up getting hooked into the wall right there, and looks like well, I'm not sure if he got into the wall or not. It looks like that car is still pretty clean. But we should be on the final lap here, as I just looked up and seen what time it was. Yeah. So this should be the white flag lap here for Dace Keeling. He's got a battle heading down into the final corner. Looks like the 39 there of Jack Oldenburg is like, I don't want to finish down a lap or another lap, whatever it is, as he gets his lap back there. But either way, into 6th, Dace Keeling. Top of the boards here once again as he claims the victory here tonight. Maybe a little bit slower on that last lap to just be safe. Bryce Reiner coming around, going to come home in 2nd place. Craig Jancic after the spin at the top of the S's. He's still going to at least come home on the podium, finishing it in 3rd. Your winner in the LMP2 class is going to be Renan Dilemma in the 82. A good job by him here tonight. Brandon Potts is looking to finish up here in 2nd place. Just got a couple more corners to go here for the 44. and Potts will bring it home in at second place. So good finish here for the 44. And then Paul Bailey already completed. I believe he is done. He is going to come home in third in the LMP2 AM class. Ricky Renner is your GT3 Pro winner here tonight, and obviously Air finishes right behind him in the LMP2. I'm sorry, the GT3 AM, as they're both your winners here tonight. Schwartz and Phillips round out the top three for the GT3 Pros. GT3 AMs are going to be rounded out by Stephen McLean and Christian Ortiz Torres. We'll get the top finish in for their interviews here momentarily, and once again, before we do that, I want to thank our sponsors here for tonight: Modern PC, 40 Racewear, Sim Gaming Hub, Chandelure Leather, and Sim Gaming Expo, as well as Ace Motorsports for everything that they do here for the series. I want to thank Chris Burrell for the Hard Charger Award as well, which is going to go to Stephen Luttrell as he finishes 13 spots up there right at the end. He got maybe got a few more spots, whatever it is. He ends up starting back there in 46th, finishes in 33rd, so up 13 spots for the number 5. We'll get a chance to talk to him here in a second as we take a look at tonight's final order.
Yeah, tonight's final order, and we'll just go down the overall. We've got Dace Keeling, the winner, with Bryce Reiner, Craig Jancic there, and they're all in the LMP2 Pro. And you got Savani Madrigal, Devin Young, Herbert Pineda, Trent Blaylock, Jim Dutton, Glenn Lazan, Bevan McCombs being a LMP2 rookie, finishing in 10th. And then we'll go ahead and move to the next page. You got Jack Oldenburg in 11th, Anthony Hutchinson in 12th, and then you have Rena Dilemma and Stephen Pless, Brandon Potts, Paul Bailey, William Burrell, and Jason Potts. Ricky Renner being the first GT3 car across the track tonight in 19th overall will be your winner there. And then you have Javi Sierra, Paul Smith, Michael Schwartz, Jason Phelps, Michael Antenia, Nathan Nickerson, Kyle Kobler, Stephen McLean, Christian Torres, Cesar Colon, and 29th overall. At 30th, Christopher Hamilton, Cameron Burke, Logan Branson, Stephen Luttrell, John Espada, Ryan Luna, John Newman, William Marvin, Jay Little, Noah Bergeron back in 39th. And then you got Roll Cohen, Marco Chacon, Ian Wilson, Ryan Merriam, Jim Herrick, Todd Terrell, James Smith, Ian Southern, Michael Brolowski. And yeah, that will be your 48 drivers here for tonight. So overall, pretty good race here tonight as the drivers have competed and for those points, working their way to the end of the season, trying to complete the CSRL's first multi-class season. And each and every week, there is over 40 drivers. Tonight, 48 on the track, and pretty evenly split, as they've done a fantastic job recruiting people that actually want to be here every week. And we welcome the fans and the drivers that come out and watch us here at CRN, and hopefully we'll keep coming back and keep giving you this coverage that you all need to see, and hopefully get all the action. It is difficult with 50, so if somebody doesn't get a little love, I need some support from the chat and from the fans out there. Make sure you're putting stuff in there, like, hey, if you're looking to see where maybe your favorite driver is, give me a message in the chat, and definitely keep engaged to show you what and how everybody is doing out there.
Well, I made a mistake, so I guess Broadcaster's Curse did come into play for Ren Dilemma, because he was not actually the AM class winner for the LMP2s. It's actually Bevan McCombs showing up there as a rookie, but he was in the AM class. So we're going to go ahead and give him his due, and we're going to bring him in here first and get him for the first interview here tonight. It's going to be the 46th of Bevan McCombs. Get it done here with the LMP2 AM class victory here tonight. But on top of that, Bevan, you come home with a top 10 overall. So what was it about Road Atlanta that just kind of clicked for you here tonight?
It's one of my favorite tracks. I've been practicing it for a little bit, trying to get prepared for this race, but it wasn't easy. It was a tough race. Hard to get past all the traffic, but overall had a good night. Very pleased.
So obviously, the Petite Le Mans, I'm not sure if you competed in it or you plan on competing in it, multi-class race here at Road Atlanta. So it's done here, but it doesn't mean it makes it any easier for you guys out here tonight.
Oh no, it's never easy at this track. This track's always a difficult one, but it is still very fun. It's always a blast.
Well, congrats on your top 10 finish and your top spot here in the LMP2 AM class here tonight. So before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
I want to shout out to my team, Helix Non Motorsports, and then obviously the group for letting me be in it. It's always a blast racing with these guys.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the win here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. See you guys.
That is Bevan McCombs, driver of the number 46, finishing in 10th position. But more importantly for his class, he finishes top spot in the LMP2 AM class. Top spot overall, and in the LMP2 Pros is going to be the 6th of Dace Keeling.
Hey, Dace, Jimmy Carl up in the booth. Welcome back, buddy. You're on fire these past couple of weeks, and you really get out there and can really manage that car here around this track. What? Obviously, we've seen your success in the past few weeks, and you're just on fire. So, give us some tips. Maybe I'm looking for this Petit Le Mans is on the horizon in the future for me. So, give me some tips on what made you so good here at Atlanta.
I would say the biggest thing here, like if you're learning the track with this car, is just knowing your references, and then just trusting the car. I mean, the LMP2 is just one of those where if you trust it to push it and carry the speed, it actually drives better the harder you push it. And so that's just, I've done so many laps in this car here where I've done Petit Le Mans twice in this car. So I've probably got over 1,000 laps here in this car, so it just feels nice carrying a lot of speed.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite tracks. I think this year will be number 6 participate in the Petit Le Mans, and I've done it 2-man, 3-man, and it's definitely a lot of fun out there, and you really got that thing hooked up here tonight, kind of bringing home a victory and continuing your march here for a championship. So we want to say congratulations and recognize how well you're doing out there, and give you some time for any shouts they might have at number 6.
Shout out my wife again. She liked that. Last time she was like, oh my god. And my 2 kids, obviously they're watching as well. The baby's not, but my oldest is watching. Yeah,
get that baby on board. Come on.
Get the baby on board.
Yeah, I mean, I love this track too. This was my dad's favorite track to race on in real life, so
yeah, some racer's blood in you. So it definitely shows out there, and I'm sure you're doing them proud. Hey, what's up, fella?
There we go.
Yeah, it's good to see people out here having a good time, and especially throwing it down for the pops. And so congratulations, man. We'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
Yep. Thanks, guys. You have a good one.
You too.
You too, buddy. That is Dace Keeling, your winner in the LMP2 Pro class and overall here tonight. Once again, switching over to the GT3's top spot here tonight is going to go to Ricky Renner. Ricky, a great drive from you out here. It looked like maybe, at least second best out here. I know Noah Bourgeois certainly had his issues, and you were there to capitalize, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're the top spot here in the GT3 Pro.
Thank you, guys. I think I don't know what it was, but I feel like that curb out of 5B, I feel like the Ferrari guys owed that thing some money or something, because that thing was not friendly to them. Car was fast, but it did not handle that great.
I am not a big fan. It doesn't matter if I'm in a GT3 or if I'm in an LMP2. That's coming out of the S's there at 5. It's always a hold your breath moment for me, and I'm not surprised that quite a few drivers had some issues there. But it definitely looked like it got a little bit crazy, a little bit hectic with the multi-class. At the top of the S's there as well, right there, and with the blind corner up there. Did you have any kind of issues yourself?
No, not so much. I got 1X that race. There was one time I was coming into turn 2 and there was a LMP I thought was going to try to dive it, and I panicked, so I just let off the brakes and hopped the curb. That was about the only one. And then I feel bad. I don't know if I threw Craig off there. I had to fuel save a bunch. I was fuel saving that whole last stint because I underfueled the car and I was lifting and coasting. So he was kind of coming up the inside, and I lifted early to let him have it. And then he kind of backed out to let me have it. And then he went, and I don't know if that threw him off, but then he spun. And then he caught back up to me in turn 7 up there and missed the turn and went off the track. And I'm like, man, we just got to get away from each other. This isn't going well.
Well, either way, it may not have worked out for him, worked out for you. You get yourself the GT3 Pro class win here tonight. So congrats on that. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast, the whole CSRL crew for putting on an awesome series. Shout out to the LMP guys from me personally for, keeping it clean and having a nice, respectful race out there. Appreciate that. And shout out to the whole simraces.com crew. All the boys were out there tonight and had a strong race. Schwartz ended up on the podium, so that's awesome. And Nate for no practice from 15th to, I think, P6. So it was a great race for us tonight.
I almost got the hard charger, and we were about ready to interview him until I had to take one more look on there, and somebody gained a little bit more than he did, but he did a good job sandbagging, just didn't sandbag enough.
But he should have qualified worse.
exactly. What's wrong with him? Well, either way, congrats on the win here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week.
All right, see you guys.
That's your winner in the GT3 Pro Class, Ricky Renner. We got the GT3 M Class winner is going to go to Christian Ortiz Torres.
Hey, Christian, it's Jimmy and Carl up in the booth. Do you copy?
Hey, copy, guys.
Hey, welcome to the booth. And obviously, a track that is well known and ran for special events. And out here, you get yourself a great finish here. Give us a little rundown of how your race was, how the traffic was, and what was the most difficult part.
Yeah, I mean, pretty exciting race under pressure from the beginning, trying to get a good quality. Ended up being just on the top positions for my class and ahead of my competitor Cesar Colon Torres, who's a really great driver. So at the beginning of the race, it was just trying to stay ahead and just keep the pace and stay focused. And the next thing was trying to handle traffic, which gets to be a little bit of a challenge here.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. One LMP2 behind you is not too bad, but I always say when there's two behind you, look out, because it could be chaos. As one doesn't want to let the other one go by, and you be stuck in the middle. But you did a fantastic job here tonight, man. You get yourself points that you needed here for towards the end of the season, and you're looking good. So the Porsche looked good out there tonight, and he did a fantastic job. So we want to notice that and recognize you and tell you congratulations and give you some time for any shouts you might have in that car.
Yeah, thank you guys. Shout outs to Brooke, who supports my sim racing, and to all the guys at Black Saturn Racing, Caesar also as well, and all of you guys at CSRL, you guys who put a great show. Thank you guys.
I really appreciate the shouts as always. Again, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
Thank you.
At your LMP2 or GT3 AM class winner Cesar Colon Torres, as not Javi Sierra, as Javi Sierra was moved up to pro class this past week. But that's on me also. With just some issues. That's why we had Jimmy broadcasting here tonight, so he didn't have everything fully up to date. But either way, interview wise, we'll get the right people in here one way or another. And the last one, wasn't sure that he was supposed to be getting an interview. Thought maybe we had a mistake and thinking that he won the GT3 AM class. No, he's in here because he's the hard charger sandbagger award winner here tonight, presented by Chris Burrell. So Stephen Luttrell is the winner here tonight. Stephen, you gained 13 spots here tonight. I know you started maybe towards the back of the field here, and I'm sure some drivers having some issues here tonight helped out, but it doesn't matter. You finish this thing and you finish up the most spots.
Yeah, I think it was all about surviving tonight. That track is so narrow with all those cars in there. I crashed, I think, lap 5. I think I lost control, hit the wall, and after that, just tried to survive and pick guys one by one.
Yeah, and it's on a track like this. It's built for multi-class racing. It obviously has the Petit Le Mans here, but yeah, I agree with you. It can get pretty tight here in a lot of spaces, and there's really only. I know you have the front stretch there, and I know you have the long run from the chicane all the way until technically turn number 1 that you're flat out. But really, only the back stretch is the only time you can kind of breathe a little bit. And if LMP2s are behind you, let them by. But other than that, you're kind of turning the entire time. But the one spot that I mentioned it can get a little tricky is pit road. To me, this is one of the toughest pit roads to get into, just because it feels like it's a bike path.
Yeah, no, correct. Yeah, the pit road. I actually tried to overtake coming in the pit, but yeah, it was too risky.
I mean, that's how much you're trying to get that Hard Charger Sandbagger Award winner. I mean, you're trying to pass it to pit. I like it. I like the attitude. Well, either way, yeah, you do get the award here tonight, finishing up 13 spots. So congrats on that. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Actually, I'll give a shout out to my new team, Alex9, Anthony Hutchinson. It's been a blast. Those guys got me into the Wednesday league, and yeah, I've been having so much fun since joining the team in the league here.
Well, you certainly representing. You're the only one on the team, I believe, getting an interview here tonight. So congrats on that and repping the team
good.
here. So yeah, exactly. We'll let you go. Get out of here. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, you guys have a good week. See you next week.
Thanks, you too, buddy. That is Stephen Luttrell, your Chris Burrell Hard Charger Sandbagger Award winner here tonight. Once again, I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. Let you know that we do have another race coming up here as the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series is going to have their clash tonight, and then they'll have a week off, and then they'll start their actual points racing in 3 weeks' time. But definitely tune in as going to get a little dirty at Bristol. It should be a fun one for sure. But for myself and Jimmy from the Road Atlanta, we'll see you at the track.